What's up, CrossFit? This is Preston from CrossFit Nashville, your favorite trainer in the whole wide world. Hopefully. And if I'm not, then I'm going to try my very best to change your opinion of me. And that is by sharing some info that I think is going to be beneficial to anybody who is doing CrossFit. And especially if you're new to CrossFit, this is information which will greatly enhance your CrossFit experience. And that is hand care basics maintenance. So taking care of your hands is very, very important. Tearing your hands is just kind of one of those things that goes hand in hand with CrossFit. It's inevitable that you're going to rip your hand open. It sounds really bad when you say it that way, but tearing your hand, it's just one of those things that does naturally happen in CrossFit. We do a lot of work on pull-up bars with the barbell, and so it's just difficult to do all that work with your hands and not develop some calluses. And then the problem with the callus is that if they are left untreated, they then will rip off when you're doing pull-ups or toes to bar or bar work. And so that's what this video is all about. One, we want to get rid of these calluses and also learn how to maintain our hands as we are continuing to train so that these things don't creep back up and become an issue. Because if you've ever torn your hand open, it's the worst. And it is very difficult to do anything after you tear your hand because it just hurts. It takes a few days to heal back up. And nobody's got time for that. So that's what this video is all about. So what I'm talking about, one, is calluses. Here are some very, very ripe calluses that I have left untreated so that I could share this video with you. And so for me, everybody's got kind of different hot spots. Some people get them in the middle of their hand. Mine come up here, here, here. I get them here, here, and there. Pretty bad. Sometimes they happen here and there. And you can kind of see the yellowish, orangish color. That's a callus. I've even got a little bit here, and then I get it right here on my thumb as well for the hook grip. But these guys are ready to go. And so if I just chalk my hands up real good, these guys are, one, going to dry up, and then I start doing a bunch of pull-ups. They're going to catch on that bar, and that little ridge that develops, the hump or the bump that develops, is then going to rip off over time. It's just inevitable. So here are my hand care basics. These are things that have helped me, one, condition my hands to get used to all of the work that we put them through, as well as recover from hand tears if they do happen in the future. So your basic equipment that you will need is, one, a callus shaver. If you prefer pink, like I do, you can get one like this. But these are a couple bucks. You can get them at like a drugstore. You can also get them off of Amazon for a few bucks. But just a callus shaver, corn remover, I think is another thing that they're called. Basically all it is, it just has a razor blade, and you can shave your calluses with that. Second thing you're gonna need is a can of blue goo. This is the best stuff that I have found, and same thing, you can get this for $3 a can off of Amazon. It's super affordable, and it's really, really good. I've tried the CrossFit specific stuff that people have developed, and it's really expensive, and it's just unnecessary if you ask my opinion. But opinions can change, like all things. It's just mine about this thing, and that is blue goo. So this blue goo has emu oil and beeswax in it, and I don't know why it's great, but it is. And it's the best thing that I've found to help condition your hands, so moisturizer, as well as help you recover from a tear. If you do have one of those come up, a can of blue goo is great. So going over the basics, shaving your hands. As you go through CrossFit, you're going to develop calluses, and we've got to knock them down. So that's what the shaver is for. This is a razor blade. There's a bit of a guard on it. The biggest thing is you just want to make sure, if you've ever shaved anything, you don't want to like angle it or dig it in and like try and like get in there and get a big chunk of skin out. You just want to keep it straight. But essentially all this is going to do is, as I drag across that callus, it's just going to catch that little ridge, and then this might be gross, but you can see it's going to take off that dead skin. And then that's what you're going to be left with is a handful of all of these pieces of skin that you can then knock off. So you just drag it across those calluses until they are nice and smooth. Just like that one there. So hopefully you can see that. But that callus is pretty good. I could still get some more from it, but you get the basics there. Is I want to knock that callus down. Step one, once you've knocked all your calluses down, then step two, we're going to take our blue goo. This is what it looks like. And you're just going to put it on your hands. Just rub it all over. And so I would say, again, it's about knocking those calluses down and moisturizing your hands after you shave that skin off. You've got a new layer of skin there. Moisturize it, and then you're eventually going to condition your hands to being able to be a little bit tougher, and they won't tear as easily. Other things that you can do that will help protect your hands is, one, get some grips. A lot of people have different kinds of gymnastics grips. You can ask around. This is my personal favorite. These are Victory grips. These are the tactical grips. They have the black, like the rubbery type material here, but I use these Victory grips, tactical version. If you have slick pull-up bars, which a lot of the pull-up bars here at CrossFit Nashville, over time they just get worn out. These are great at sticking to the bar really well. I do the 3-hole version, and I just throw it over the top. I don't put my fingers through on this one, but this is a great tool that will help protect your hands, getting you a good set of grips. And then 2, using chalk sparingly is another thing that I would recommend. A lot of people overdo it on the chalk, and especially in a workout that's got a lot of pull-ups. If you're just bathing your hands in chalk, you're drying your hands out, and you're just going to be more prone to tearing your hands. So I would just say use it sparingly. Like all things, I believe chalk's a tool. It can be beneficial, but if we overuse it, it can be bad for our hands. And then the last thing is if you do end up tearing, how to treat it is, one, if you have a big skin flap that's developed and it's like opened up, make sure you don't cut that off. You want to leave that on there. And then 2, you're going to take the blue goo. This is the miracle drug, the miracle salve, if you will, balm, if you will. And you're going to put a big glob of that underneath that skin flap and then throw that flap back down. And you're going to do that as much as possible. If you do end up tearing your hands, that new wound, the new skin tends to dry out and split back open again. So make sure you keep moisturizing that as well. I like the blue goo because it's really thick. And it doesn't just like wear out as much as like other kinds of moisturizers do, but it's thick. It stays on your hands for a long time. The other thing I'll say is, as your hands get kind of hot, like after a workout, if your hands are just really red and raw and kind of worn out, just do a little bit of this. Rub it on both hands, and then, right before you go to bed, and it can do some wonders as well. But stay on top of those calluses, knock them down, moisturize your hands, and get you some gymnastics grips, and you should be set up for success.